place to promote the growth of Tigres in English through analysis, discussions, interviews, and more. Welcome to the Lautimes podcast. Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to Lautimes. We're the only show in the world dedicated to talking about the third worst team in Liga MX currently, Los Tigres de Monterrey. And as we always say, en las buenas y en las malas, we're here to talk about the team. So thanks for joining us tonight on Monday. We're recording earlier this week because your boy is not going to be available later in the week. So we're going to get this recording done tonight. I'm Dennis. I'm the host and the producer up here in the FW, and very happy to be joined for the moment by one of our usual crew members. We'll have another one join us later, but for the time being, I am very happy to be joined by my friend down in Austin, Texas. You know him on the Twitterverse as Tigres_English. It's Lou, Profe Lou himself.
What's up, Dennis? Great to be here again.
Little short turnaround from last episode. I won't complain about it too much.
You know what's funny though, right?
What is?
That the week we record early is going to be the week where the news are going to come out after the pod.
Oh yeah. I would be not stunned at all if tomorrow morning the first thing we see is the bomba of us hiring the coach.
They love doing that to us, bro.
They really do. I mean, it is what it is. We'll talk about it whenever we can, either later in the week or next. But here we are. All my friends who are on podcasts, I usually shout you guys second, but I'm going to shout you guys off first tonight. Thanks for joining us on the pod. As always, again, we have a really consistent listener base, especially on Spotify. So thanks for always listening and tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the show already, go ahead and do so. Leave us a review and a rating. It helps us out a lot. And if you are a Spotify listener, drop a comment on one of these episodes as well so we can see what you think about what we have to say. Now, we have no one in the live stream yet, but I'm hoping that we'll get some more people or just anybody tuning in to our live stream here in the next few moments. We're going to go ahead and get started with the show. Lots to get to tonight. As always, first things first, before we talk about the disaster that happened at the Estadio Jalisco on Saturday, we're going to start with some positivity. And that means Tigres Femenil, who got another win on Saturday at home, a little 1-0 win at home against a team that has always been a struggle for us to play against in Juarez Femenil. And we were able to scrape a victory out. I think we could have had more than just one goal, but we'll take the 3 points nonetheless. A perfect start for the girls. 3 for 3, 3 wins out of 3, 9 points, top of the group. Obviously not perfect by any means. Squad's not fully intact, but I think all things considered, pretty decent start for the girls. Give us your recap of the game, if you may, Lou.
It went sort of the way we had talked about it going last week. A lot of the things that we expected happened during the match. Juarez is a team that always plays us tough. They're very physical against us. They always put up a good defensive wall. And it took us forever to score. It was one of these matches where we really struggled to put chances away, generate a lot of chances. So it went sort of the way I expected. I'm a little bit concerned with our finishing. I feel like that's something we're going to need to improve, be a little more clinical near the box, around the box, to be able to really compete against the bigger teams. I think we're going to need to be a little better with our finishing. But I'm liking a lot of the stuff I'm seeing from our wing play. I think Maria Sanchez, for example, is utilizing the white space very well. I was looking at some of the stats the club released regarding Maria Sanchez, and she had 17 crosses, which is phenomenal. She's got a great left foot, so a lot of those crosses are always where they need to be or near where they need to be. And as long as she continues to have that many crosses into the box, I think it's good for us because we have Diana Ordonez who can finish. And then later on, if we start to get some of our players healthy, like Jennifer Corginali, that's going to be huge because now you have a second option there to be able to receive crosses and make something out of it. So that's a very positive for me. Eventually, we'll get Themby back, and that'll be another option for us to be able to have a winger that's really dangerous on that right flank to be able to match the production that Maria Sanchez is giving us. So overall, happy with the result. It's not anything to write home about or get too excited about, but I thought it was well handled by the girls. Didn't get frustrated, stayed with it until they were able to get the result they needed to get. It's Juarez can be frustrating. They can wear you down, and I thought they did a great job of kind of overcoming some of the obstacles they faced during the match. So good, good start of the season. Proud of the girls. I think they're heading in the right direction. Plenty to still correct and fix as the season progresses, and as we start to get more pieces, I think the team will look even better. And hopefully, as we've been mentioning, we get some signings to kind of boost this squad a little bit. But overall, great start, great game against Juarez, and hopefully we keep that trend going. You're muted.
You're right. You're right. Themby is back with the team, by the way. Sorry, I was trying to do three things at once here. She is back with the team. She was a part of the little pregame sort of moment they had for Jenny Hermoso, which, by the way, that was very cool. I'm very glad the team did that. I'm very glad she had her moment to say goodbye to the fans and to all the people with the team associated with the club. So that was cool. But she was a part of that. Um, I don't. I know that South Africa didn't win WAFCON, but is she healthy? Did she come out of that 100%?
I heard that there was an additional game that needed to be played for some reason. I'm not entirely sure what the dynamics are with that tournament, but even though they got bounced in the tourney, there was still something else that she needed to be there for. Um, I wish I would have paid a little more attention when they brought that up, but
Sure.
it was something to do with an additional game that needed to be played that wasn't part of the cup, but
Hmm.
also deals with the her federation and things of that sort. So
Okay. Huh. Well, hopefully, yeah. It's just she came back. Hope maybe she came back the day before the game and just needs time to get back on the training pitch and all that, and not it's like, oh, she has another injury, right? Because she has unfortunately has had a little bit of an injury history in her time at Tigres, but hopefully that's not the case, and she's able to be integrated into the next match day. Um, hey, I want to shout out a few players. Your analysis was great of the game. I want to shout out a few individuals who I think, despite kind of the lack of depth that we've been dealing with so far, have stepped up and they've provided some solidity. I feel like we mention Mia Villalpando all the time just because of her talent, her age, the fact that she has so much potential. But her partner on the other end of the field in the wingback spot, Sabrina and Ciso, she's done a solid job so far. Not had any like moments where she's been like caught out or anything. It seems like everything coming her way. She's defended well, and just doesn't seem like we're struggling on that end of the pitch. So kudos to her for coming back in because obviously she had a long time away with injury as well last season. Um, Mayra Delgadillo has been decent in a much better position for her up further up the field. So kudos to her. I mean, duh. Obviously, she should never play right back ever again. That would be just a disaster for everybody. Um, and obviously, Mari Carmen, like she gets credit for the goal, right? I think it flicked off her last, but she gets credit for the goal, and you can just tell the midfield just flows better when she's on the pitch. Like she has so much energy, she can play any sort of role that you want. Um, I just have been dying for her to come back because she elevates the team on a whole different level. And even though we're down a little bit numbers wise right now, we're trying to figure out exactly who we are this season. Like you can tell that the midfield has not been a huge detriment so far, and I think a large part of that is because of her, what she can bring to the table. So I'm really happy she's back, and I hope that she can continue to stay healthy.
With Mari Carmen Reyes, it's just a matter of time of getting repetitions, getting minutes on the pitch. Um, we know the quality that she has, so it's just a matter of time of her getting past that injury. Sometimes you get injured and you come back, and there's still a little bit of a mental hurdle you got to get past, where you still kind of remember the injury and it kind of hinders you a little bit. You're still kind of trying to favor certain movements, and so it's just a matter of her having plenty of minutes, and then I think once the season gets going, she'll be in full swing. She'll be back to being the dominant midfielder that she was before she got injured. Obviously, in that first game back in Campeón de Campeones against America, she looked rusty, but it's just normal. I think as she starts to get more games in, we'll start to see her improve a lot in a lot of the aspects.
Agreed. We have our first comment of the night. Finally, you came back around, Threedger.
We missed you last week, Threedger.
Yeah. Sorry, but we gotta let go of Delgadillo. I understand the argument you're trying to make there. I understand that she has not had necessarily the greatest tenure um, with the team so far. But again, I must emphasize when she's playing further up the field, it's a lot better of a situation. Is she a surefire starter? No, but I feel like she can still serve as a decent depth piece if need be.
Yeah, the way the roster stands right now, you can't really afford to let her go because imagine if somehow something happened to Themby, then now you really don't have anybody to really play in that spot. So it's a piece that's critical for depth. And until we start to fill some of our holes in the roster, honestly, I wouldn't even be happy letting go of anybody right now. I mean, we just lost Jenny Hermoso, Natalia Colin. Last season, we lost Ferral and Farmer. So we've had way too many absences, not enough players coming in. So I think right now, is the way the roster stands, I think we need to be thinking about adding pieces and not letting anybody go. That's definitely a conversation we can have come winter time, right, in the off season if we
Right.
replenish some of these positions. But right now, I think as we stand this season, we gotta add, not subtract.
What do you think about this comment from Threaker? Not gonna lie, Tati Flores did a lot more than her in the little time that she did. What do you think about that? I feel like that's fair. I mean, she hasn't been that bad.
No, and I said it early last season when she did get minutes that I think Tatiana Flores has good qualities. I think she's aggressive, which is what you want out of a winger. She has similar qualities to Marcelo Flores, right? They go after it. They're not afraid of 1v1s. They're not afraid to take on players, dribble into the box, and that's what you want out of a good winger. So yeah, I like Tatiana Flores. I don't think that's a player that I think it's a player that gets a lot of criticism, but she hasn't gotten a ton of minutes either. She's never had
Right.
continuity, regular minutes, and so I think we judge her harshly. And I wouldn't mind giving her more minutes and having Delgadillo ride the bench a little bit more. But to me, that's those two players that they're not hurting us. I don't think they're they're hurting us in any way. So to me, I still stand by that. I'd rather add than subtract this season.
Yeah, I'm with you. Pause in the conversation because we do have another crew member with us. You know him as the Pride of Corpus, but he lives in Houston. Mr. AJ himself in the house. And the rivalry has recommenced between these two jokers. How you doing, my friend?
I want the season to end already.
What
This is
are we living out the Winnie the Pooh meme?
yeah, we are. You know,
Uh
I don't
Uh,
know. It's we just need a coach. That's honestly what we need.
yeah, yeah.
But like
We're
honestly, like I was thinking. This is what I'm thinking.
okay.
I think whoever they bring, if they don't bring anybody, right, it's gonna be someone short term. And I think the board's gonna say that it's gonna be short term, and then we're gonna find the long term after this fiasco.
Hmm.
That's what I think. That's my take. Like it's gonna be someone short term just to push us through the rest of the tourney, and then they'll go long term. Because like you gotta think about it. Like if I'm a coach, right, long term wise, look what I'm walking into. Team only has 1 point in 4 games. Embarrassing performances in the League's Cup, with which I said last week. 3 winnable games. We got taken to PKs with Vancouver, who we should have dog walked. Minnesota, we should have dog walked too. It's a lot. Like honestly, like you're asking a manager to bring this on without reinforcements either. Like you have no signings yet. That's like literally a dumpster fire, and you're asking someone to put it out.
You're right. I want to continue the conversation now even further, but I do have to bring in Papa, aka
the founding father.
yes, correct. Arnoldo in the house. How you doing?
What's up, brothers? How's it going?
What's the hat?
The Astros.
Oh yeah, the that is it retro kind of?
It's like that. They released this like new logo like 2 years ago, but it's not really like marketed. So
Sure.
not sure exactly what they were doing with that.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like our team at the moment.
Yeah. Well, two peas in a pod. You can say that again.
What's
In,
up? What we got?
in fact, that deserves a laugh track, if you will. Thank you for that. Well, we were just talking about the girls, but AJ just came in right before you did, and now we're switching gears to the coaching conversation a little bit. So we could continue talking about that, or we can go ahead and get the rant about that last game over with if you guys want. I don't really care, to be honest with you. Depends on what the vibe is.
We're just going with the vibe like the men's team, honestly.
Yeah.
Just going with it. Ship is sinking slowly but surely.
It's just I feel like this is the first time that I felt like we were eliminated out of contention this early on. Is this Lou? Is this the first time in a very long time that feels like I
Since
mean
'07, since
we got to win like I
Apertura
mean
2007.
how many games do we have to win? About 9 games to finish out decently?
Yeah.
Man, I crunched the numbers, and I'm sitting at 2021 for the season, bro.
Really?
Dang.
But
Yeah.
even with getting through the easiest part of the schedule, I mean,
We are
I
in the
know.
easiest part of the
That's what
schedule.
I'm saying.
After week 9, the schedule gets really tough. That's the problem. And I think coming out of week 9, we're gonna have like 9 or 10 points tops, and that leaves us another 10, 11 to try to squeeze out from the Tolucas, the Leons, the Cruz Azuls,
America on the last
the
game.
Americas.
Kind of classical.
The
Yeah.
only easy ones we have in the second half of the season are Pueblita and who's the other team? There's one other one, but other
Juarez?
than that, might be Juarez.
Can't even say Puebla is an easy one because we struggled last year with them.
Well, they torched us last year. We got cooked.
Uh-huh. They might could do it again, to be honest. We have another comment. Ah, Fred! Look at this guy out here commenting on YouTube. I don't know though. So discouraged by the team's performance that he hasn't come to the Volcan to watch a game with his newly purchased season tickets. Damn.
I won't be there this Friday either.
Damn.
You'd think I waited so long to get my hands on those tickets and finally have them, and gonna
And
have
here we
to
are.
gotta find a way to either sell them or maybe give them away. I don't know. I mean, it's just tough, man. Like I watched. I told myself when I was watching the game late at night on Friday, I was like, I know what this is gonna be like. You know, I'm not gonna get into emotionally into the match, go down immediately, and I didn't even I can't come home late, so I didn't really catch the beginning of the game. So I probably tuned in like 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. So I was like, oh, it hasn't started yet, and then first thing I get is a notification on my phone 1-0, and I was like, oh, maybe it did start, and then I turned the game on. It's literally the third minute into the game by the time like my YouTube TV loads up. And I'm like, of course, like we're just gonna start off on a terrible showing against a poor team. And I don't know if I misread it, but I really thought it was a Purata goal whenever it came about.
I
And
mean,
I
it
was
looked
like,
like it.
I
It looked
mean,
like it.
I said, of course. And I said, okay, like I'll watch the first half. It's a late night, and we'll call it a night and be done with it. For Bruneta's goal comes in, and I got one of my best friends texting me. He's like, "Hey, is this an important match? Like, what does this mean?" And I was like, "Week 4," because he's a big football fan, and so think about it as week 4, and I'm there texting back and forth. So at that point, I was like, okay, like I guess I'll watch. He's watching, so I might as well give him the time to, respect the text back and forth as he's trying to understand what's going on, not only with the game but the team itself. We score obviously 1-1, and I'm like, okay, we might be able to pull this off. And sure enough, man, second half comes about, and I'm watching it in bed now at this point, and Nahuel pulls it off to go down 2-1, and then we like Bruneta is like, I'm like, okay, like of course this is happening, like this is the type of season that we're gonna have. And PK happens. I was like, okay, then patitis. I'm used to this. We can a little point here and there, and then eventually we squeeze in 8-7, and at least the streak stays alive. I knew Bruneta was gonna miss that PK whenever he started like lining up, because I think it's gonna be that type of season. I think no matter moments that we have, whether they're good, great, I think the team just needs a complete overhaul. And I think I even tweeted it out after the match. Like, whatever coach you bring, whether it's a top tier coach, a middle tier coach, you can't inject there's a lack of leadership, a lack of emotional hunger for what's to come next. I think even the quote unquote experienced people or leaders that have somewhat developed, like Correran, I mean, even Bruneta, who's having a wonderful season and has, honestly, I think from his time of arrival to Tigres, and, whether he appeared in big matches or not, statistically, he's demonstrated it. I mean, he's climbing up the goals and assist ladder for the club, but I think that the team just doesn't have a presence anymore. I think Nahuel, kind of solidifies it. I mean, if he's out of control more than he's ever been in his career, it just seems like the entire locker room is out of control, and maybe not out of control from discipline aspect. I just don't think that the hunger is there to continue to push forward. I mean, who are you going to get it out of? Vigon's 33, 34 years old. Gorreran is, over 30 at this point. Like, he should have been in like a good stage with a lot of surrounding talent, and he's gone through ups and downs and probably won some stuff, and probably at a point where like it's not as fun anymore. And then you get into looking around elsewhere in other roles, and like you don't really find it. I mean, your entire back line is somewhat new or young. You get into the midfield, and I mean, Ociel is the same story of ever, right? Like injured all the time. And then you got Linus, who is back to the days of like whenever I used to hate on him every day. Like, and you even pointed out even further, Dennis, 6 months of no contribution on the attacking front. It's just tough. No matter where you look, there's nothing that stands out as a team besides Bruneta. and we got some good talent here and there, and especially in the back line. I think Franco and Joaquim are obviously some good bright spots here and there, but when you compile the whole aspect of the team and then the bench, like there's really nothing to look forward to besides. I'm glad that the youth players got some minutes. I'm happy because at least they're given a chance to finally make the debut, and it's probably only due to Turrubiartes and Elizondo. Other than that, those guys probably would have gotten a chance with Guido.
Yeah, Ramirez coming on at the end, even though it was a necessary sub because of the situation, it was nice to see him get, in some ways, rewarded for how he just did with the
Touch the
U
ball
23.
once.
Yep. I mean, looked better movement wise than freaking Buffalo in the short minutes he had. Would have been nice to see my boy Simeone, but that's another conversation for another day. Drieger saying Brunetta and Chicha, all we got. I agree, especially based off of last
Oh
game.
yeah, dude.
Chicha played really well.
I mean, and I think I saw like a tweet about it. Like it was in Spanish, something along the lines that we missed out an entire year of Marcelo Flores taking over at the starting position instead of Chicha Sanchez, and and a lot less games has shown more comfortability from an overall match perspective and a full match than Marcelo Flores, which I think Marcelo Flores still has prior injury, a lot more upside, and I think it just due to the exposure that he got in Europe. But Chicha Sanchez has been a lot more consistent, without as much contributions.
Yeah, he just needs the stats
Yeah.
to back it up. Lou, I wanna kick it to you. You and AJ, I both kind of want y'all to take this question over from Fred. Is it just me, or despite the early goal and the Nahuel blunder, that the team didn't do that bad, or am I just getting a little too used to crap performances? Because I feel like I side with Fred with what he's saying, that this may have been one of our better performances of the season, even though obviously the scoreline begs to differ.
It's hard to talk about a good performance when you allowed 3 shots on target and 2 of them were goals. I mean, we're shooting ourselves in the foot. I told you last week that this team is in a huge hole mentally, which is one of the worst spots to be in because a lot of times that's the hardest thing to overcome is mental barriers, mental blocks, any mental challenges you face. And I think this team is in a deep hole with some dark clouds above it, and it shows. I think I agree with Fred. I mean, some of our performance was good. We had 25 shots. We had 41 touches in the box. We have a pulse. There is some life in this club, but mentally we're not where we need to be. We're beating ourselves up. Too many mistakes. Nahuel is not in it. And then you miss a PK. There's just too much, and every week it's something. Set piece defending has been terrible the entire year. Um, the goal they scored was a minute and 39 seconds into the game, and you're not set. You have a guy coming from the penalty spot full speed, and nobody makes an effort to block him. Nobody's watching him. A lot of our guys just are mentally checked out. They're not watching where they're positioned. They're not watching their surroundings. They're not scanning the field. There's just a lot of mistakes, man. It's just we can't win like that. And these are just the easy teams that we faced so far. We haven't faced a single tough opponent all year, bro. Because the League's Cup opponents, they're not the elite MLS teams, and we've faced some really weak Liga MX teams so far. So what's gonna happen when we do face the Cruz Azuls, the Tolucas? I think we're just gonna crumble because we have no structure. We have our mind's not in it. We need a coach that it has a heavy hand. We need a coach that kind of was like Tuca, right? That is going to challenge these players. That's going to make them work harder. And unfortunately, I'm not seeing it right now. I think they tried to go after El Mellizo. Seems like that didn't work out. And who knows where we'll end up now. I fear that we end up with one of the Spaniards and everything just goes downhill for another year.
He had to have been the first option, right? Barros Esqueloto.
Probably that would be my guess based on what all the reporting has been.
And shut it down, right?
Yes, he just listener if you're just now like tuning in, Barros Escuroto just came out at a press conference because they played tonight, right? Like they just played
Yeah.
their game. And he came out in the press conference and was asked about it, and he basically shut it down, saying like that conversation's over or something like that. So I imagine, I mean, Carlos Valenzuela literally flew to Argentina to meet with him, right? Like, it seems like they were pretty serious about getting him in. Now you're talking about Juan Carlos Osorio, which there's been a lot of this, that, and the other about whether or not he's actually still in it as a candidate. Quique Setien is now in the mix as well. It sounds like Oscar Pareja's out. It sounds like that is like pretty much out of the picture at this point. Although at this rate, it wouldn't surprise me if he ends up coming back in it, based on all these coaches who aren't taking us up on it.
I want to say it was Barros Esqueloto option 1, Juan Carlos Osorio option 2, and Oscar Parejas option 3. Something must have happened with Osorio that Pareja took I guess a bigger uptake in his chances to probably coming out. But once Barros Esqueloto probably got further along, and Osorio, kind of got out of the picture, Pareja started fading out, and then now you have a new rumor in Quique Setien.
Yeah, I mean it's probably just searching for scraps at this point. I mean, sounds like there's not a lot of options out there, and this is just kind of what we've been dealt with.
Jimmy Lozano was there. I said Jimmy Lozano was there.
No manches. What were you gonna say, Lou?
Well, I mean, Barros Esqueloto has Vélez in first place, but he's complaining about signings. So the guy's not happy because they sold a few players out from under him, and they're not bringing him players. So
and his contract's up in like 3 months.
What incentive does he have to leave a first place team and then come coach a team that's at the bottom of the standings and that also doesn't have any signings, and there is no promises of any signings? It's not an attractive position right now. You're taking on a role that's a no-win situation, bro.
I heard Travieso Guzman is looking for a job. No mames.
I'm starting to kind of believe what AJ's saying is, even if the front office doesn't flat out say it's a short-term gig, but you only give whoever comes in a 6-month contract, end of the year. If you can make it work, you stay. And we'll extend you. But if it doesn't work, we part ways, and then try to see if you can land Andre Giorgini in December or January. I think that's the best bet.
Yeah,
right now.
if his wife wants to come back to Mexico at this point,
or the other one is go out and get somebody like Victor Manuel Bucetich. Be like, hey, look, end of year, you know this squad well, you know the league well. Let's see what you can do. Work your magic.
This dude talking about Jimmy Lozano is right there. Profe Cruz is also right there, bro. Come on with it.
Well, I mean, it just goes back to the aspect of like it's not a coveted position at the moment. Like it's probably the lowest aspiring coaching role has been, and probably, I don't know, going back to 2009, maybe 2010. Like I think we were spoiled for so long with Tuca Ferretti, and then after that, like you still ride the wave of a lot of players when Piojo comes in and everything that happened, but it's just now it's at a point like you ran out of gas. Like there's no ammo left in the tank, and no matter, like I said, who comes in, like what are you looking forward to? You're looking forward to a goalkeeper who has given you everything, and is obviously showing signs of not committed to the club. and rightfully so. I mean, the guy is 40 years old, if not older, and has given everything and is on his way out, closer to thinking about retirement and maybe not even playing. And he's riding a position out because no one behind him can challenge him. You got a guy who's just as old as he is, and then a youngster who hasn't probably played professionally for us that I recall. So, and if so, maybe a game or two. So nothing really forward to look there. From a goalkeeper position, you look at, like I said, the defense is probably the brightest spot with the defensive mids, possibly with Romulo and Araujo sliding in there. So you got to really have a coach that's like willing to, implement a style of like earn you some points either by some ties or like closing out games and getting some goals in with a few chances. But offensively, you have no firepower besides a player that is, probably is going through some deja vu right now, reimagining his days at Santos, where he was carrying the team and he had nothing but lower tier players around him.
What's really concerning is that we have people that really don't understand the team and don't understand the game making hiring decisions. One thing that was worrying me about the Mellizo and hiring him is he's got a tough personality. He would have been tough on the boys and would have tried to squeeze out every ounce out of them. But if you look at the way he plays, he relies a lot on speedy fullbacks, speedy wingers, good wing play, guys that can cross the ball effectively. And then you look at the roster and we don't have that. So what are you thinking as a front office person? Bring in a coach that relies on fullbacks and wingers when you don't have that type of a player on the squad. So what are you going to do now? You're going to go out and spend on fullbacks and wingers when you can't even bring in a center forward? And it just kind of goes to show that they're not shopping around for what they have on the roster. You need to look at a coach that's going to be able to maximize what you currently have. And realistically, the only signing we're probably going to get is a center forward. So you need to find a manager that's going to be able to work with the current squad as it sits, and and a good center forward if they go out and get one. So why are we looking at some of these coaches that are just not going to be able to get the full potential out of this current squad the way it sits? And that's why it's almost even better to just throw away the season and take these next 4 or 5 months to try to get you a coach and then bring him in for the squad. Just at this point, depending on who you bring in, might just need a full overhaul where you're getting rid of another 4 or 5 players.
Yeah.
And now you can start with a coach that can say, kind of like the way they did with Tuca in 2010, right? They brought him Juninho, Guayala, all these guys that he could work with, Danilino and Damian, and all these guys, right? That you start to put together a squad for Tuca, and then he can work with that. Um, and I think we're sort of putting the horse before the cart with this, and I worry that we got the wrong person going out to make the hire. I almost feel like we need to make front office moves first, go out and hire the manager, and then go from there. Because you've got the same guys who hired Piojo Herrera, Diego Coca, Pauno, making the decisions. And at this point, I think the fan base is just fed up. They're tired of the guys making the calls, and you're almost better off saying, "Hey, goodbye, Torrado, and let's give Gignac a chance, or somebody that knows the game well, that knows the squad well, knows the league well." And now you could start to just say, okay, this guy is going to make the coaching hire based on the roster we have, and we'll go from there. And if we need to rebuild or we need to incorporate pieces, then we can do it. But I think we're putting the horse before the cart.
Yeah, it's a great way to put it. I have a question from Fred that I'll throw up in a second. But shout out everybody watching us live. Uh, tell your friends that we're live. Repost the link, share the link with somebody. We want more people to watch us. And if you're in chat, or if you have the ability to chat, come hang out and chat with us. And maybe you can help us answer this question from Fred, who said, who had the worst team around him? Lucas Lobos in 0809 or Juan Bruneta this season currently? Which team was worse?
I hate that he asked that because he knows the answer to that.
This guy. How do we feel about Nahuel? Obviously, he makes that mistake. He just got suspended 3 games in the Leagues Cup. He's already suspended 7 in Conca. So, like, Liga MX is the only thing he can play in for the rest of his contract at this point. And yeah, exactly. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets suspended down the line. I mean, what happens with him at this point? Like, do we keep him around still? Do we say, hey, like, what do you want to do? Do we leave the ball in his court? Does he retire before his deal ends in May? Do we part ways in May? What happens? Because I just feel like, unfortunately, as we mentioned, like, he's checked out. You can tell the mistakes that he's making, they're mounting up. If he can't play half the competitions, then, that's not a great use of a roster spot. And honestly, like, over the last year or so, like, I think his last truly great moment, I know he had a nice penalty shootout against Minnesota, but it's Leagues Cup, who cares? His last probably great moment was that semifinal against Cruz Azul in the league about almost a year ago, where he saves that penalty, helps us get to the final in that second leg. Ever since then, man, it's just been kind of a slow, gradual downhill with him. And I don't know. Like, we love him to death. He's been such a legend for us, but at this point, he's causing more harm than good. So, AJ, I'll start with you. What happens with him at this point? What do you think he does? What does the team do? What's the best way to sort of, handle this situation with him? Because it's really complicated and it's really sad.
There's really nothing we can do. I think what Arnoldo said, like, we have a backup that's up there in age as well, and then we have the third option who couldn't even tell you what game he's played in. So he's inexperienced, and you're gonna throw him into, this season where it's already, it's already bad. But with Nahuel's situation, I think honestly, like, the defense has lost confidence in him as well. I mean, you kind of see you kind of saw the frustration with the second goal with everyone. Like, Chewy had, like, probably the worst reaction, like, you can probably have as a defender. But honestly, everyone on that back line doesn't have confidence. And, the goalkeeper is the one that's supposed to instill the confidence in the team. And if he doesn't have confidence, then the whole team doesn't have confidence. And it's slowly trembling to the other players. But yeah, I think like you said, like, if he's suspended 7 games in Conca, he suspended 3 in Leagues Cup. I'm surprised it's not more, honestly, because
I'm surprised they only gave him 3. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like, 3's like, I'm surprised. Yeah, I'm surprised, like, indefinite suspension, like, can't play anymore. But I just think you got to cut your ties with him. Like, you have to. Like, you're in the, like, if you don't go for a goalie in January, you have to go for it next summer. That's just a position that we need. Yes, we need a forward, and now we need a goalkeeper.
Lou, Arnoldo, thoughts on Nahuel?
I think I've said enough. I think there's really no option. You write it out. I mean, you write out the remaining part of his contract and hope for the best.
Unfortunately, Nahuel with one arm is probably still better than the backups he has, says Alfred. And
yeah, I feel like,
unfortunately, he's right.
Yeah, we're stuck, right? Like, he's much better than, I'd say, 70 to 80% of the goalkeepers in the league, if not more. But he has a bad team, so now he's more exposed. and he's mentally checked out.
Lou?
Yeah, I mean, we checkmated ourselves in that regard. We had at one point we had Tapia, and I think if he was still on the roster, you can more confidently say, let's plug Tapia in there and let him play, and we'll let Nahuel ride the bench. But at this point, I just don't have any faith in the backups. Not that they're terrible or anything, but they're just not. They're not going to give you what Nahuel gives you. Um, and it with Nahuel, it's just mental. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to get him back. He still has juice in those legs. I mean, I agree with Arnoldo. He's still better than 90% of the keepers in the league. So I think at this point we're stuck because we did it to ourselves. We have not planned for a good transition, and budget wise, we just not going to spend the money to go out and get a keeper. It's not going to happen. And so I think we're stuck. So that's just it is what it is. If he continues to play this way, I think you have no choice as a manager. You're going to have to sit him down. I know he's a legend and everything, but next man up. You only get so many games like this before it's the best for Nahuel would be to just say, hey man, ride the bench for a little while, get your head cleared, get your head back in the game, and let's see what happens. But as far as releasing him or trading him or anything like that, I think it's out of the question.
My guess is that something could happen in January. I don't know how likely that is, but I feel like once this apertura is over, I could see something happening between now and start of clausura. I just don't know what the market would be like for a keeper at that rate.
And it could be mutual at that point, right? If he
Right.
wants to end his career at Newell's, or if he wants to go play with Messi, or whatever it is that he wants to do, at that point it could be something mutual, and then that kind of gives you options to go shop around. There's some good Mexican goalkeepers. I think we need to use that foreign spot now more wisely, and probably just have a Mexican goalkeeper. I think would be the best moving forward.
Yeah. Yeah. Just because the foreign keeper market, you're not going to get somebody like Nahuel, like the way that we got him originally, probably ever again for a while. Not ever again, but for a while. Just because, we brought him in when he was in his prime. He was young. We were able to get a good deal in that situation. I don't know if we can pull that off again 13 years later. I still don't know how possible that is.
It was a different scouting team back then too.
Yeah.
I feel like back then we were doing a lot better with our scouting. I don't trust our scouting department right now to be able to go get somebody like Nahuel. I mean, it took us all by surprise how well they did with the Nahuel signing. So
Right.
I think it's once in a generation type of thing. The way it happened with Gignac also. I mean,
Yep.
let's just face it, it's kind of once in a generation
Yep.
type
We
of hiring.
just got lucky that all happened at the same time. So, Drieger saying Acevedo, suggesting that name.
Please
I
no.
mean, immediate shutdown from Mr. Tigres English. Immediate.
I mean, at that point, we're just gonna be Santos. I mean, we got Brunetta,
Yeah.
we got Acevedo.
Yeah.
You
then
get
some-
Santos players, you get Santos results, bro.
Yeah,
and,
bro.
and then some random Argentine playing in the back. In this case, is Alan Franco, and they always had a random Argentine.
Yep. Yep. You hit the nail on the head. I have one final thought about the game, and then I want to shift gears and look ahead to Atlante. Bring the clown in the stands too. Thank you. Yes, the second goal is frustrating. Yes, Noah has to save that, whatever. I do not understand in the 10 minutes before the goal, because I'm literally watching it right now, looking back on it right now. In the 10 minutes before the goal, right after Purate gets the red card. Why we just, outside of like a couple of set piece chances, the free kick chance, why on earth did we let Atlas have any sort of possession? At some point, we sat in a mid block when we're up a man. Right before the goal, we're sitting in a mid block. We're not pressing them. We're just like, we're letting them kind of pass the ball around us in the midfield, literally right before the shot goes off. I do not understand what was the strategy there. Go win the game. What are we doing sitting back with 10 minutes to go? You're not protecting a lead. You're trying to go win the game. You have an extra man. I don't understand why we thought that was a good idea. And I know that obviously, like, again, it should have been safe to begin with. But also, you have the man advantage. Act desperate at that point. Don't act desperate just when we go down 2-1, right? Like, I don't understand why we just all of a sudden decided, we're going to let them have the ball. They should never have the ball. They're down a man. We have a numerical advantage. Go hold on to the ball in their half of the field, force them to sit in the low block, and let's go win the game. And here we are. We'd let them do that, and then they get a lucky situation, and then, we get a penalty like later on, but still, you can't, in that situation, to me, it's so frustrating when you go up a man like that and you can't take advantage of it possession wise. That drives me insane. That was driving me insane in the moment on Saturday, and looking at it now, 2 days later, it's driving me insane again watching the replay.
Just think the confidence isn't there in the attack, honestly. But this team, even if we had a lead, this team, we can't sit back. Like, this team, I don't trust our backline with a lead. Like, we cannot sit back and invite pressure. Like, yes, the concede, Nahuel mistake was bad, but the 1-2 passes Atlas was doing on Goriadan, making him, like, he looked lost. Triangle,
Literally going in circles right
made
before
a
the
perfect
goal.
triangle around him. Like, that just can't happen. Like, that was like youth level defending. Like, he was a man in the middle. He didn't know what to do.
I think Romulo also kind of contributed to that as well. He also looked a little lost. And it's probably because he's a lot more comfortable now in the back and having possession, having probably a lot more vision to when in possession and distributing from out the back, which I think just kind of goes back to the formation of the team and the structure that we kind of came up with. We brought a center defensive mid when we already had one and had turned him into a center back, and you had a Mexican guy like Vigon, older, sitting on the bench. So I think just again goes back to the planning thing that we've been emphasizing for quite some time, and just doesn't align with what we're trying to do.
I'm literally watching that play right now, AJ. We're right here in the build-up. I don't know if y'all can see that well, but right here in the build-up, this is right before the goal. Gorearan, I think, starts a press right there.
Yep.
Lainez goes back there, back to Gore, and then that one pass takes him out. Then Vigon gets taken out. Boom, goal. How on earth are we letting them do that when we have an extra man?
It's bad, dude.
I don't know if the coaches were told, hey, just leave the squad as it is, don't mess with too much, but I was really disappointed with the coaching with Hernan Elizondo and Turro. It's just a lot of stuff doesn't make sense. If you're gonna let them be interims, let them be interims, right? Don't handcuff them. Don't tell them what to do. And I'm tired of this front office treating our youth coaches like they're some scrubs and they need to be told how to act, what to do. They ruined Chima. We lost Chima. He ended up going somewhere else, and they're ruining these guys as well. I mean, look, it was the 70th minute when Urata went out, and 10 minutes later they make a sub, and it's man for man, bro. They pulled out Paco Reyes to bring in Loroña. Tell me how that makes any sense
And that was
whatsoever.
only because Paco got hurt.
You're playing a man up. Like, yeah,
Where's
let's say,
Farfan?
like,
Hurt.
pull Reyes and bring in another midfielder. Why are you bringing in Loroña for him, man for man? You pull a fullback to bring in another fullback. Doesn't make any sense. You've got a man advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why
it,
they're not coaching, bro. They're just
yeah.
They're not
they're just
coaching.
running. They're just running
Just
practices.
puppets. It's just a puppet.
Even if with Paco, you know, he gets that like concussion or whatever off the set piece. So yeah, it's a forced substitution. But you have Henrik Simeone sitting right there on the bench. Bring him in and allow the
Anybody,
other guys
bro.
to move up.
Diego Ramirez, Galvan, any of the people that can attack, anybody that can give you some offense, you're playing a man advantage.
I
There
would
is
have
no
brought it.
need
I would have brought in
for a
Simeone
fullback.
and let. I would have brought in Simeone and let Goriadan move up. Like he's more.
Yes.
He's like Goriadan is not. He can't work in the double pivot, and that we've known that. He's more comfortable up top. Like if you bring him past the midfield, he's gonna be exposed. He's more
But
comfortable.
what I'm getting at is these coaches, Hernan Elizondo, they've been in the game forever, bro.
Yeah.
They know this. They know you have a man advantage. This is your opportunity to pull a fullback and bring in another attacker or bring in another midfielder.
I think that now's the
And
time. Like
so
with
to me, it's somebody told them, dude, just keep the status quo. Don't make any waves. Don't do anything crazy. Like Arnoldo said, run it like it's a practice game. And who's telling them that? So that's my problem. Is somebody told them that, and somebody that doesn't understand
Dorado,
the game. And so
Dorado.
to me, everything just goes back up, bro. Back up the ladder.
Like to me with
Guys,
interims, it's now's the time to experiment with the squad.
Thank
Now's the
you.
time.
Thank
Now's the
you.
time experiment with new formation. Like obviously what wasn't working. Let the interim he's the interim. He's not gonna be here long. If he's not gonna be here long term, let's see what he can do. And what if it works? You know, what if it does work? We don't know just because we're running the same lineups. So, I mean, granted, our bench is like weak, so we have to, but you can at least change the lineup, like change the formation a little bit. Work with what you got. Like,
yeah, what's stopping us from running a 5-3-2? What's stopping us from running a 3-4-3? What's stopping us from running a traditional 4-3-3 instead of this 4-2-3-1? Because the double pivot is clearly not working.
Yeah.
Clearly.
if we were gonna drop all these points, bro, we should have just been running up the youth minutes.
Ha! You can say that again, and we
as
clearly
a youth coach, you could say, hey, I gave my boys minutes because they went through my academy, and I want to do something for them. I'm gonna throw them a bone, and that's it. I'm an interim. I'm done.
but we'd probably
Like
see more of a fight.
make a statement. Do something.
The youth would probably put up more of a fight than some of our guys are doing right now.
Yeah, sit
Yeah,
some of these
that's what I
guys.
said. I don't think they're coaching, and like I don't even know if maybe like Lou said, the instruction is just like don't mess with the team, don't get too creative, and maybe even like subconsciously for them, like there's really no shot that they're sticking around. And even if you dig deeper, like I heard you mention Chima Ruiz, Lou, I feel like he was even more prepared as a coach. Like he had more experience. These guys are like U19, U20, like they're your youth formation coaches. Like they have no experience dealing with a lot of older players. So I think ultimately, whether they knew it or not knew it, they're just somebody to have in representation so the players don't practice on their own.
Would you guys like to hear how many youth minutes we currently have as of 4 match days?
I have no idea. What you got?
182.
It reminds me.
We're in the middle of the pack, by the way. We're not in the bottom.
That's
10.
crazy. That is crazy.
There are 7 teams worse than us.
Do the minutes from Simeone for the Conca come attribute?
So
No?
I wanted, if I remember correctly, because this happened with Chicha. What was it, 2 seasons ago, where he went off on a tournament, but he had to get a certain amount of minutes in the league in order for those international tournament minutes to be activated.
Sounds like Simeone needs to play.
He needs to start, bro. What is there to lose? He's on a good run of form right now. He has a lot of potential, and he's half Brazilian. So he automatically has more quality than half of these other scrubs on the team just from being Brazilian. I assume that we will get Fred asking the same question. Are we going to get the national team youth minutes? I assume we are. I just don't know what quota Ramirez and Simeone have to get in order for those to actually be accounted for. Hopefully somebody can find that out between now and then. Because at this point, you might as well ride the wave with them. That way you can get those minutes out of the way and not have to struggle for them in the last, half of the season. And also, isn't it kind of wild that we haven't been doing that already when we just talked about how crazy the schedule is going to be in the second half of the season, when we have to play Cruz Azul and America in our last 2 home games, when we have to play Toluca, when we have to play all these other teams that are doing really well. And we probably shouldn't be playing a ton of the kids, realistically, if we were playing better, right? But now it's like everything's a wash. You might as well just ride the wave. That's all I'm saying.
We're not going to make it, Dennis. It's plain and simple, my man. Either way, with the youth minutes, without the youth minutes.
Oh, yeah. It's a wash. That's what I'm saying. Ride the wave with the kids.
To be able to get into Liguilla, you pretty much have to be at 26, around 26 points. Gets you in, give or take a point. And we're just not going to be able to do
cooked. Yeah, we're cooked. We're cooked. That's what I'm saying. Ride the wave. Ride the wave. What is there to lose with starting Simeone, with starting Galvan, with starting De Maria Campos? What's there to lose? Nothing. So somehow this team is going to find a way to play a competitive football match on Friday. The return of Viernes Botanero boys. Come on now. At home against Piojo Herrera's Atlante on Friday night, which I think at the beginning of the season,
he's coming in town. He's gonna kick our ass,
bro. Hey, if you would have thought at the beginning of the season, we'll be fine. Atlantis, Atlante.
Bro. Eduardo Tercero, Pisuto, and Cajon. Oh
bro,
my God, dude, we're in for a treat.
Tercero va a meter un gol, güey. Eugenio va a tener un gol y una asistencia. Piojo Herrera's literally gonna crap.
Pisuto's
all
revenge game, and Cajon, bro, he's coming in hot.
Borger Klopp gonna absolutely wreck whoever's on the bench for us.
Oh man, I gotta watch this game. I gotta watch the ass kicking.
Friday night. Anybody know what time the game starts?
Honestly, 7. I think it's a 7 p.m. kickoff.
Oh Lord.
Awful start time.
On a Friday night in Monterrey. Good grief. So 8 p.m. here.
Good luck, Alfred. Get in there.
Yeah, for real. All the usual spots, broadcast-wise, everybody. Estrella.
Bro, I'm calling right now, bro. It's going to be 3-1.
Bro.
There will be a riot.
Okay, Lou mentioned this last week. We may have to get more security. There may need to be more security at the stadium on Friday.
I'm not joking about that. I'm not joking about it.
You're going to need the National Guard. You're going to need the Marines. You're going to need all hands on deck.
Dude, because
they better up security. We're going to be on Fútbol Picante that night.
Because here's the deal. They got away with it in the Leagues Cup match last week because ain't nobody was trying to go. There was only 17,000 people that rolled up to the joint. This is a league match. People will still roll up to the league matches, but people are going to be rolling up to that joint. And that's all I'm saying. I mean, what do we expect? I mean, obviously, we're crap. Atlante is playing really well relative to expectations, relative to their squad. They have been in pretty much every game that they've played in, except for like their last Leagues Cup game where they got absolutely shredded by RSL. They've been in every match. They've played well against the big boys. I mean, how bad is it going to get for us? I guess is the question. I don't know. They already said 3-1, but what do y'all two think as to how bad it could get?
Well, we're still up in the air as far as the coaching situation. Is it going to be the new coach that comes in and takes over, even though he's not going to have much time to practice, or is it still going to be Hernan Elizondo and company, even though they said goodbye last Friday? We don't know. Um,
I was gonna ask, like, was it true that they said goodbye?
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That
so we don't even have a
they
coach. We don't even have a
they
coach
said that this will be
announced.
the last game we coach you guys, and goodbye, farewell. And now it turns out that they were told, hey, make sure you come to practice this week because we might not have the hire in place.
I wouldn't
So
even go.
just to start off there, they have a manager, we don't. So
Both
we're
both
already off
literally and metaphorically.
on the wrong foot already.
Okay,
Friday
just let a
night
fan.
game, really hot. Piojo's teams are very good on set pieces. We can't defend a set piece to save our lives. So I mean, I think it's a bad combination, bro.
Just do
It's
an
a bad.
auction. Like, do a fan auction. Like, highest bidder gets to coach the team
Does
Saturday or
Intocable
Friday.
get to play at the end of the game, or is there no bright spots for the fans?
Pro-
Frontera.
three ball Monterrey. Hey Lou, you should tell the guys in our audience how you would have us be if we all got hired in the hypothetical scenario that I really wish could be realistic, that you were the head coach of Tigres and we were a part of your coaching staff / part of the club staff.
AJ's running the youth academy. I
That's what I
got
like to. That's what I like to
Alfred,
hear.
head of scouting, so he's running the scouting department. I've got Edgar, head of communications and social media. I got
Of this
Arnoldo.
madre.
I got Arnoldo on the business end. He's my Carlos Valenzuela. And sorry, Arnoldo, I didn't mean to.
we're already
But
off to
you get what I'm saying. You get
we're
what I'm
already
saying.
off to the wrong. We're already off to a bad start.
I'm sending him to Argentina to see if we can land a coach.
Oh man.
Oh Lord.
And Dennis, you can hang out with me on the bench, bro. I'm coaching the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, I'll be your assistant, bro. I'll be your ball boy.
I guess that means Arnoldo can fire me, bro. Maybe I should have put
Yeah.
Arnoldo somewhere else.
Nah, you should have thrown me with the goalkeepers or like running technical exercises.
Yeah, there you go. Have a
head of
have.
head of training and conditioning.
Yeah.
There we go.
Which brings me, dude. Speaking of that, I used the word technical. I came across that Lucas Lobos video. That was so cool. Even further going back to answering Alfred's question, the answer is definitely Lucas Lobos had the worst team. Like that's without a
Oh
doubt.
yeah.
But that was so cool coming across that. Like I think I've seen. I don't know who I've saw online talking about it. Maybe it was a few months back. I don't think it's necessarily been talked about. Definitely not the PR person. I'm not very good at that.
That's 100% Edgar. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then Alfred's the head of scouting, and his lead assistant is Woodsy. So that way they can scout all the Brazilians for us.
When are we gonna get to like, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just wishful thinking, right? Like, what about like, what is Damian doing in Monterrey, right? Like he lives there. Like, he can't do like things like Lucas Lobos is doing back in Argentina, but for Tigres, like we can't get like, I don't know, 3 days a week where he spends some time with Linus and Jose Herrera and Chicha and maybe even Torres Nilo, like with some of the defenders. Like, I feel like that's where like we've dropped the
Juninho.
ball so much, man, in like the last 15 years of like all the players that come through. Like, what is Sobis doing? You don't think Sobis is willing to come in and hang out and work for the team, on a independent contractor role and just come in and just, work on some, exercises and drills with some of the forwards. And I just feel like we miss out on so much. And, we've burned so many bridges with a lot of these players. A Carioca, man, like chilling in Brazil, like come and do some camps with the youth, under 16, under 15 players and teach them about how to like run the midfield, man. Like invest in like the players that gave you so much, where you don't even have to invest in so much development because you have the money, you have the natural interest already. There's a lot of kids that are in Monterrey that want to play for Tigres or Rayados, and you have so many players hanging out in the city where they made a ton of money and they're doing business outside of it. And like, it just doesn't take a big effort and a big brain to just figure it out and just bring some of these players back into the system and give back to the team that gave them so much as well. Not only financially, but on a winning experience base as well.
Yeah, but that goes against Carlos Emilio's plan to shore up all the money, bro. He doesn't want to have a big expense list, as we know. Otherwise, how are we going to build a stadium?
All I know is that we have one more bridge to burn with Nahuel, bro.
It's coming though, Lou.
He can't be the exception.
I think it already started, low key. Like, it's slowly starting to burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he could be the goalkeeper coach.
It's gonna come crumbling when his time ends. He's gonna go. He's gonna tweet something, or he's gonna go on Instagram Live and just expose it all.
I mean,
I can see it. Like, he went to Twitter right after he got the red card. Like, not even 5 minutes after he got the red card, he went straight to Twitter.
Yeah, that was wild.
Tweet.
Just I can't with him, bro. I can't with his antics sometimes, man. Like, there's a limit, right? There's a limit.
Is there any? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Is there any positive besides Brunetta? Anything that stands out? Like, I mean, I guess
Chicha.
I was Trigger pointed out Chicha.
I really like Franco, man. I think Franco's been doing well.
Dude, he had a really nice touch play at the I think it was in the first half. Was it the first half? Yeah, in the first half on the right flank, where he had like a really good technical and skillful move. Where I think he crossed the ball it was a ball in the air and he caught a good cross on it. It just didn't have good direction. I think he's very skillful on the ball. I actually think him and Joaquin, with the right coach, can be really fucking good back there. And I think that kind of just leaves the door open to going back to what Lou said about building. I think that's where you kind of make a decision. And, I think Nando Herrerán is locked in and you see what you get out of Cachete Araujo out in the market and you roll with Romulo or Cachete. I think Romulo has some market in South America where you can probably sell him back, and you're stuck with Nando unless another Liga MX team wants him. Maybe like an Atlante and Miguel Herrera that's coming in town, or somebody that he can contribute to. But I think you build off of that. You build off of the back line. I think you definitely need to bring in somebody to compete with Chuy Garza. The left back position is like, I don't know what the heck is going on. Angulo hurt. I don't even know what happened to Farfan. And now you got Paco Reyes, which, I mean, good things for Paco Reyes. I feel like he's getting an experience for his career, right? Like, I don't know how much or what happens after Tigres, but, he can definitely say it. He earned his contract and is getting the playing time, and hopefully he gets an opportunity somewhere, but he's definitely not the starter for us. So I think, like I said, whoever comes in now and, things need to change, but a complete overhaul would be nice. And I think the back line is what you build off of.
If you're overhauling Arnoldo, who are you keeping?
I think you go, I think Chuy Garza, based on youth and Mexican, Joaquin, Franco, because I like him as a player. I think Farfan is definitely a good bench player to keep on the team. I think that, it's not that I would like to keep Nando. I think, because he earned his or got his contract renewal, what was it, 6 months ago? Or within the last 6 months, I think he's definitely staying. Brunetta. I think the Linus experiment has definitely not paid out in the long run in the amount of time that he's been here. I think it's a good time to part ways and get something out of him. I think the same thing with Ociel. And I think that leaves me with keeping Romulo if I had to choose between him and Cachete. And then you got Chicha Sanchez. That's 8 players. and that's
Angulo?
about it.
Did you say Angulo?
I mean, what are we gonna get out of Angulo anymore? Like he's been hurt the last 2 years. Like, I think sure keeping on the roster, but I mean, I'm not even counting on him being on the roster. Like he's an injury away from being like completely retired as a 27, 28-year-old. Like he's a long history, like even further before Tigres, at Atlas, at Santos. He missed out on the World Cup because of an injury. I mean, I think the player, I mean, the body can only take so much. So that leaves me with 8 players total to move on with. No goalkeeper,
No center forward.
no
No
center forward,
Buffalo.
no wingers.
No mames, Fred. No mames.
What about recalling Purata?
No,
I love Dude, you out here talking about him when he did us a favor on
I mean-
Saturday, bro. He was
Oh,
trying to give us a
And we
win.
didn't take advantage of it. We didn't
I
take
know.
advantage. He was trying to help us, you know. He was like, "Hey, y'all need the points." But
Damn.
team player, see? That's why I like him. Team player.
I mean, like even dude, if he like was, let's say he has an amazing season at Atlas. Man, I'm getting the white boys from you, AJ and Dennis. Atlas. I can't even say Atlas. Even if he has a fantastic season there, like the dude mentally, it's just not a good relationship to be in, dude. Like the fans hate you. Like you literally like earned so much cash riding the bench, and you had some signs of like early on that you were gonna be somewhat good. Like the dude's probably better off just paying his salary somewhere else and finishing his career at another team. Like he's not gonna make the national team ever again. Like just write it out. Be a professional. Be be one of those many players that have left Tigres and make a career out of themselves at another club.
Oh boy. Fred trying to rage paint. Bring back Florian. Hey.
Hell
Man,
no.
I thought it was Threeger for a second.
Nah, bro.
Awful.
Hey. He's crushing it in France. He just helped Lens win a trophy yesterday against the mighty PSG. So you might be onto something there. Predictions for Saturday. I already heard it from Arnoldo. I haven't heard it from Lou or AJ, and I have not said one either. So, boys, spit them out.
2-2.
For Friday, not Saturday. That's what I meant. You know what I mean. AJ?
I'm gonna go 2-1 for the boys. I'm gonna start a run. Before the El Clasico, this is gonna honestly, these are the 3 games you have to win. If you want a chance at Liga, you have to win these 3. No drawing. You need to win these 3 to go into the El Clasico with momentum. These are the 3 you need.
That's
You have Atlante, Puebla, and Juarez. Juarez is in dead last. You have to win these 3 if you want a fighting chance to get in the Liga at the end and to head into the El Clasico with momentum. These are the 3 games. These are the 3 most important games this season. This will tell us a lot about the team.
Juarez got absolutely mollywopped by the neighbors the other day. Good grief. I think that's probably who said this on the show a couple weeks ago? I think it was Alfred, actually, that the only goal of the season at this point might be to just win El Clásico. That might be the saving grace of the season this way. Cuando el equipo anda mal, la hinchada lo hace ganar 1-0. All right. Colgado del arco. Oh, I don't know. The question for you from Fred. Florian or Lainez?
Bro, he's just trolling, bro. He's trying to get Arnoldo angry in here, man.
Yeah, and he knows that I'm working right now, so he's pushing the limits.
Bro's gonna say C, neither, or C, Luis Q. Drink.
I feel like, I mean, dude, I don't even know if I would have to drink a lot to even answer that question. I hate both of them now that I just dislike both of them a lot. Like I would probably argue that Linus has contributed more overall without the stats that Osiel Herrera has, but I still like Osiel Herrera more.
El Arnoldo takes like always. Oh wow, dang, this dude getting
That's
roasted.
because I'm not a little porrista trigger, crying over players that left like Cordova and Florian. Don't come at me.
I'm gonna say 1-1. Little cheeky little 1-1 draw. 2 points through 5 games.
Bro, y'all are crazy, bro. We lost against Atlas, and y'all think y'all gonna be we stand a chance against Piojo Herrera.
The
in
mighty
revenge squad.
Atlante. Oh man, I don't know, man. It's a strange sport. It's a strange game. All right, last thing before we go. I know we've kind of all answered it to some degree already, but Quique Setien or Juan Carlos Osorio, and I do want to add something to this once y'all finish answering. Who's it
But
going to be?
what's the question?
The
Who's it going to
question-
be, or
who-
who do we want?
Both. Why not? Both.
Go, AJ, go.
None of them, honestly. I just don't think a European coach suits this team. I really don't. It's at the end. We have big egos on the team, and we saw how he had what the big egos did to him at Barca. And I think that would be another disaster. But he's gonna be the guy. I've seen the momentum with him. That's gonna be the manager, in my opinion. Just based off of what everyone like his name popping up more. I think he's the manager.
Lou?
I'm with AJ, man. Neither. But if I had to pick between the two, I would just go with Osorio. I mean, Spaniards in this league have not been successful, bro. Go back and watch what was his name? Paco Ayestaran. You guys remember that guy?
Gemes también, remember?
Oh yeah.
Paco Gemes from Cruz
Yep.
Azul.
Yeah, there's just been a lot of bad. They're not bad coaches. It's just they don't know how to. They just don't understand our league. Don't understand the players that play in this league, and players tend to not respond well to them. And I think Juan Carlos Osorio knows how to talk to the Mexican player, knows how to get the best out of the youth system. I think Juan Carlos Osorio, out of those two, would be the better option. I still think Oscar Pareja has a long shot, but I'm with Alfred. I think he said it on the chat. He wants Vucetich. I want Vucetich too. I'm convinced that would be the guy.
Crazy.
Revenge. It would be the revancha, bro. I think
Bro,
he'd
there's
get
no
it done.
revanche when he made the little history that Rayados have become the reason why they have a history.
Well, he could triple that history with us if he wanted to.
I'm thinking y'all just stirring the pot like I usually am, just contradicting everything and being, controversial here. You guys are crazy. Just take your Osorio and call it a day.
Osorio / Vucetich.
Can't
Bro,
those
believe
two
you-
in that
I
order.
can't believe this is as bad as Luis Quiñones making
Drink!
so many appearances on the podcast for the last 5 or 6 years. Vucetich should not even smell what Tigres is. Y'all are crazy. Gotta stop the BS we got going on around here.
it's not gonna happen, but I think that would be the best option for Tigres short term. But
No, what? No, you
dude,
and Alfred,
he's a great coach.
yeah, like 10 years ago. Even longer than that. What's he gonna come in and do different with this current squad?
Well, for one, give us some structure, some shape.
Just park the bus?
Hell yeah.
No. He made look, dude. That Rayados team, bro. Had they
Look at
not
that.
fired him,
Now you're even
had they
complimenting
not
Rayados
fired
on this
him,
podcast.
They would have won a cup the following year. He made one mistake, and Siboldi made him pay for it. He just thought there's 10 minutes, 15 minutes left in this game. I'm going to wrap it up. That was his only mistake that entire season, bro. That Rayados team was flying that entire tournament with him. Arguably playing better than the 2017 Turco Mohamed Rayados. That 2023 team was something special, bro. And then look at what he did with a very limited squad at Querétaro.
And
He's had
Mazapan.
he's had limited squads and he's made them work. But I mean, this is all just talk because there is
Yeah,
no
I'm
interest.
glad you
There
see
is
it
no
that
interest.
way.
Bring back
Can't
Siboldi.
believe.
Brother, that might
Nah,
be the only
see,
way the curse gets
that's
lifted.
another one. That's another
That's
one that's never gonna
lift the
happen.
curse. If we have to do a sacrifice, sacrifice Dorado. Fuck it. You know, like we gotta. You know, I honestly think
Torrado
that
and
that curse
Doener, bro. Both of
that
them.
cursed that cursed us honestly, because that was a guy that bled for this team and we did him dirty. So now the football gods are gonna pay.
They're coming after us big time. I assume that we will
Have we
get the
checked?
news.
Have we checked to make sure the club hasn't announced anything?
Yeah, I'm looking. I will say there apparently. Listen, I don't like talking about the guy. We were talking about him before the show started, Lou. But I guess under this new regime, Willie is one of the top guys because like Bayo's been late to everything. It's like either Willie or Vladdy that get all this stuff first. And so Willie put out a video, I think a little while ago, and some people are saying that he's implying that Setien's going to be the guy.
I think
In
Willie
that
has
video.
been on point the last like 3 months about Tigres news.
Yeah, kudos.
I mean, I think something must have happened within the club that Peyo lost his his insider, I should say.
Yeah.
My man's, now he's on what is it called? Miguel Ayun's YouTube channel or whatever, doing games now. My man's just getting phased out. He got punked by Vladimir with releasing information in like 8 minutes compared to Peyo's 1 hour videos. Even though we've had Peyo on the podcast, shout out to him. I love this personality, but he's losing momentum. My man's losing sight of the information that he once used to have.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, I guess this new regime, they're handing out the exclusives to different people first, right? Like El Torres, also part of that as well. Roberto Flores, all these guys that over the last few years have not been the usual suspects have been getting the stuff first, and even Jorge Rosales hasn't been getting stuff as frequently as some of these other guys. So
Setien is gonna be 68 years old, bro, in about a month.
ante crudo, bro.
68 years old, bro.
Oh man, I don't like that. I do not like that. I think they're gonna announce the hire Thursday, which means Homie will not be coaching Friday. So we'll see the new coach at the Puebla. Did you say Puebla's next after this, AJ?
Let me check.
No, it's Santos, isn't it? We got Santos after that.
Llantos?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Llantas? Yeah, you're right. They announced it tomorrow since you recorded today. Yes, we know, but realistically speaking, this slow A directiva out here taking forever. Valenzuela's getting roasted right now on Twitter, by the way. I don't know if you guys have been seeing that over the last couple hours with the news about what's his face turning us down, Cheloto. Everybody's like, mira, este güey se fue a Argentina a tomar mate y a comer empanadas. ¿Qué está haciendo este güey? No hace nada. Just a bunch of people just upset about him not closing the deal with him.
I mean, it kind of tracks, right? Like he goes and tries to lock it in, and then tomorrow somebody else gets the call. The second option gets the call, and then it comes to agreement. It gets leaked, and then Wednesday he's in Monterrey, possibly to be presented that day, or in the evening, or Thursday in morning.
Yep.
It's already
Just
been written.
just taking too long, bro.
It's
As
gonna be Oscar Pareja, boys.
hey, I said this the other day and y'all didn't believe me. I'm telling you, this front office is not smart enough to hire somebody actually that well.
I feel like they are smart enough. I think they're just not interested in what we're interested in.
That could also be true. I don't know. We'll see. Am I missing anything? We're good.
We're good.
Lou? AJ? Am I missing anything?
Just give me Andres Jardini, bro. That's all I want.
Ándale, way. Give me. You know what? I need somebody. They're going with the best. This guy. I need somebody to make Jurgen Klopp really mad, so that way he quits. He rage quits his job with Germany, and then he could actually come coach Tigres, and then we could have the coaching matchup of the century: Jurgen Klopp versus Burger Klopp.
God, I had a question for Lou, but I missed it over here playing with my sheet. God, what was it? I don't think I have it.
Se te fue?
Yeah, it was in regards to something you guys said in the last minute and a half.
Oh. Oh well. If you think of it in the next following minute and a half, stop me. But assuming you don't have it, we're gonna call it a night here on the show. And unless crazy circumstances prompt us to record later in the week, we will not come back until next week. So stay tuned for whenever we find out when we record again. But as always, thanks for being here and thanks for hanging out with us live in chat and for following us and for subscribing and sharing the link with everybody. All you podcast people, thank you for listening as always. You guys know what to do. Look at the show notes, look at the episode description. Follow all of our social medias, click all the links on there. If you want to be a part of the show, let us know. We always want more people involved. And yeah, like I said, we'll be back at some point next week to hopefully by then talk about our new coach. Although it's been almost a month at this point, with Guido's resigning, that we still haven't found a coach. So who knows if we'll actually have somebody by then. You gonna mention the chat? What do you mean? Am I gonna? I did mention the chat. I said thank you, chat. What do you mean, fool? This guy. Oh, that chat. I think there are people watching us from that chat. So shout out to everybody watching from that.
We need to get AJ on that. Arnoldo,
Yeah.
you should get AJ on that chat.
Yeah, I mean, AJ, you got WhatsApp, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, get in there. We'll make it happen. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Oh, Puebla 2-0 up on Pachuca. Dang. Just saying. Yeah, we'll be back next week. We'll let you guys know whenever that time comes. But stay locked into Twitter for both news and all of our takes on everything as stuff happens throughout this week. Like I said, Friday night is the game against Atlante, and the next Femenil game is also later this week, but I can't remember when exactly it is. It's Saturday. Saturday against Cruz Azul away. So we have Friday Tigres and Saturday Tigres. Can't complain about that. Spread out over 2 days as opposed to the back-to-back that we had on Friday. So that's it for us on the show. For AJ, for Arnoldo, for Lou, and for me, Dennis. This is Low Times. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting. We'll talk to you guys next week. Ciao for now.
Peace.